Welcome into the PFF NFL Daily, live and in person. Steve Palazzolo, Sam Monson. If you're watching on YouTube, that's right. We're doing it from the studio. Today's daily, all about Kyler Murray. And his agent has put out a statement. They are unhappy. It was all caps lock, Sam. It looked like a terms and conditions statement with a typo or two in there. But basically summed up, Kyler Murray wants to get paid. And let me just read. Can I read?
Oh God, how much are
Just
you reading?
the
It's a
last,
long
just the last, not the bold parts.
Okay.
The bold part, actions speak much louder than words in this volatile business. And then, after multiple paragraphs of stuff, it is now simply up to the Cardinals to decide if they prioritize their rapidly improving 24-year-old, already two-time Pro Bowl quarterback who led the organization from 3 wins upon it before his revival to 11 wins in their first playoff appearance in 5 years. Or rather, if they choose to financially prioritize committing to other areas and continuing to merely talk about addressing Kyler's long-term future as their quarterback, blah, 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 blah. Kyler wants to get paid, and he wants the Cardinals to, I don't know, make some moves. They do put in here, they want to keep the flexibility to make moves to compete every year with Kyler at quarterback.
Okay.
Got all that?
Yeah. Isn't that what they all want?
Yeah, we all want that. But this is after he deleted the Instagram stuff, too.
Yes.
This is like serious.
Well, I'm confused. I'm not sure what the point in all of this is. Like, effectively, this is just, I want the deal and I want it now, right? Isn't that what we're doing here? It's like, hey,
probably
you
could
see
have
the way
sent an email with that information.
You see the way Baltimore is dragging ass and they haven't paid Lamar Jackson and the Cleveland Browns didn't pay Baker Mayfield, and I want the Josh Allen version. I want the one that comes a year before that. I want the Carson Wentz, the Jared Goff, the Josh Allen. That's the timeline I want to be working on. And presumably the Cardinals are like, well, you know, we love you. We think you're great. That's why we dumped our other first-round quarterback for you the next year. We think you're great. But we want to wait till the next year because we want one more year of this cheap deal. Otherwise, what's the point? So the only point in all this that I can possibly discern is that they're working on different timelines right now. And Kyler and the agent would like this done now, whereas the Cardinals would like to wait a year.
Sorry about the cough.
Yeah.
That was live.
Oh,
my bad.
You don't have a cough button anymore.
It's not connected anymore.
Disconnected?
Yeah.
Well done. Yeah.
Just couldn't hold it in. Sorry.
Great.
Yeah, I mean, there was also implication in this that, like, they're upset with the way the Cardinals have built to this point, or just maybe giving Kyler all the credit from being the worst team in the NFL offensively to what they are now. But
the whole thing, I don't even know if it's that. If it's just, hey, don't take whatever money you have this year and send it somewhere else. Give it here now. Like, that's what this is, right? This is I want the deal. I want it now. Give me my money.
And it's also, there's an offer on your desk, basically. I'm paraphrasing now. There's an offer on your desk that lowers Kyler's cap number this year and next year, so it allows us to, you know, sign more free agents and the whole deal, but gets him paid long term. And so it's a lot. I mean, it reads to me like sign the deal I sent over, which obviously is not how negotiations work either. But yeah, there's it's basically what you're saying is, are they taking something public that just doesn't need to be public? Like, why isn't this not happening behind the scenes, having these discussions?
I mean, I just generally don't understand the entire approach of what Kyler Murray and his camp have been doing, right? There's the Instagram stuff, the purging of social media of everything Cardinals related and everything that says, which is completely up for interpretation, by the way. Nobody has any freaking idea what that says. And then there's this, which is this public statement that does nothing other than saying, we would like to be an Arizona Cardinal. We would like to be the quarterback of the future, and you need to pay us, ideally sooner rather than later. I'm not sure what they're driving at here. Like, everything has been going well for Kyler Murray and the Arizona Cardinals in broad, big picture terms, right? They have gone from 13-3 to, you know,
3-13 to
3-13 to middle of the road to a playoff team. They're moving in the right direction every year. Now, each one of those years ends in disappointment, i.e., there's like a collapse late season and it sort of feels like it's worse than it is. But generally speaking, they are moving in the right direction and becoming a good team with Kyler Murray as a big part of that. I don't think there was ever a question that he wouldn't get a deal. Like, they're not thinking, oh, I'm not sure if we've got the guy here. Like, they're bought in. So all this is doing is putting pressure on them to do the deal right this second, which, okay, that's your prerogative. That's, this is how negotiations work to some extent. Like there are going to be times where you want it done earlier than they are, but nobody else is doing this. Like why do all the other quarterbacks in this similar situation, why do they not act this way?
On the other hand, should the Cardinals just do it anyway? I mean, the guys that have been riskier as far as the early or the re-signing, whatever, Jared Goff, Carson Wentz, Kyler's trending in the right direction, right? He had a pretty good rookie season, but 82.8 grade last year, or in 2020, 82.9 last year, including his passing grade, up to 86.7. So everything about Kyler getting better. The offense is getting better. They've added better pieces around him. Everything is trending in the right direction. I think you feel the reasons why the Ravens and maybe the Browns haven't done those deals is things aren't straight, on the incline, the way, say, it was with Josh Allen and the Bills. And, of course, Patrick Mahomes was a slam dunk. Maybe it is in the best interest of the Cardinals to get it done now before, like Derek Carr is going to sign a deal. I don't know what Kyler's camp offered. But if it's comparable to $40 million a year and all of a sudden Derek Carr starts making $40 million a year, are they going to be upset about that? And then Kyler's price goes through the roof, or Kirk Cousins starts creeping up toward 40 when he hits the open market? Maybe it is in the Cardinals' best interest to get this done because you don't worry as much about the Carson Wentz drop-off or the Jared Goff drop-off that we've seen in recent years.
Yeah, but doesn't the fact that he's I don't know if I want to use the word behaving like this, but so one of the things that came out one of the things that was reported after the initial purging of the social media was, who was it? The kid, was it Mort Report or Edward, or I forget which was it? It was Mortensen, right?
Probably
Chris
Mort,
Mortensen.
yeah.
Chris Mortensen, I think, came out and sort of described this relationship that the Cardinals had with Kyler Murray and essentially threw him under the bus a little bit in terms of attitude and maturity and how he'd behaved after a loss and all this kind of stuff. And it basically painted what wasn't a happy picture between quarterback and team. Now, who knows if that's accurate, right? We have no idea who his source was. It could be entirely public PR spin. But if it was in any way accurate, you've now got this quarterback who everything's moving in the right direction. At some point, you guys are going to get a deal done because both parties want it to happen. But you are, A, you appear to be acting kind of childish behind the scenes. B, your initial step to push this along was like purging social media in just a weird way. And C, the next step is this agent press release that's just like, give me my money. Like it's just not painting a good picture of a, face of the franchise leader quarterback.
Isn't that how you negotiate with PFF?
Public statements and social media purges.
At Collinsworth PFF, give me my money. Hoops fans, the latest offer from DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA, is too good to pass up. New customers can bet just $1 on any team and get $150 in free bets if they win. It's that simple. If Sportsbook isn't yet available in your state, you can still take your shot at a big payday. Everyone can play for huge cash prizes with DraftKings Daily Fantasy Basketball Contest, and DraftKings is giving all new customers a free shot at millions of dollars in total prizes with their first deposit. So download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use promo code PFF. Bet just $1 on any NBA team and get $150 in free bets if they win. It's promo code PFF at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. Must be 21 or older. Minimum age and location requirements vary by jurisdiction. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for full list of requirements and state-specific responsible gaming resources. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. So what you're saying is maybe the Cardinals have some question marks here.
Yeah, and if they had any, they've only gotten bigger with this.
So the problem is, this is like all or nothing, right?
Yeah.
You're either paying him $40+ million a year or you're not. Are these enough questions that you're saying no? Like, there's no hybrid. It's like, oh, we'll pay you for 1 year.
Right.
Or we'll go year to year because this is going to piss him off enough that he's going to go play for the A's or something, right? So you can't – there's no middle ground here. You're either bought in or you're not. And if this is more fodder to not buy in, is it enough for the Cardinals to actually walk away? That makes it more difficult, doesn't it?
Yeah, I don't see there's any way they can realistically get out of this. Like, they kind of have to pay Kyler Murray. I can't see – you can't move on from him, I don't think. But it's going to make you more reluctant to hand the guy the giant sum of money he's looking for. And if you wanted to make this work on a different time scale, you're going to be more inclined, I think, to dig your heels in than you are to accede to whatever it is he wants. But do you remember way back when we were still, before the draft, when we were still deciding, like, is Kyler Murray really going to turn down baseball to take up football? Why would he do that? It's less money. It's blah, blah, blah. And like he did these kind of press tours where he was going around. And of course, all anybody was asking was like, so are you playing football? Are you doing, what's the deal here?
Yeah.
And he would just kind of like almost sit there and like the kind of way like an 8-year-old does when you catch them doing something they shouldn't and they just don't want to talk about it and they just climb up.
Yeah.
You just sit there like almost in mute silence. They're like, so are you doing a pro day? Are you what's the deal here? And he just kind of gave off that, like, I don't know how you're supposed to react in that situation because none of the rest of us have been, first round draft picks in baseball and football.
No.
But I'm pretty sure that's not it. Like, I don't know what the answer is, but it's not that. Is that just the way he is, which is, it's not,
or is he
not ideal.
Is he getting bad advice or advice to say, always keep this in your back pocket because we're going to be here in year 4 where because you didn't decline baseball, people are still going to be talking about it, and it's leverage.
It's not even, it's more just like the way he comes off in these situations doesn't seem to be good. And who cares ultimately, right? If he still ends up playing really well and improves again and the Cardinals get better, it doesn't matter. But these are the kinds of things that impact behind the scenes when you're negotiating with the organization or when you're in a locker room with teammates who see this. Like, this is not, if he reacts behind the scenes the way he was reacting in front of a camera, then that would tally with the stuff that Chris Mortensen was putting out, which starts to build this picture of a guy who the Cardinals might not want to just throw all the money at.
That's
right now.
This puts, I think Kyler's a fantastic player. I love the way he's trending. I think you can win a championship with Kyler Murray, right? I mean, you could do it. This puts the Cardinals in a tough spot because the Bills don't have this question mark about Josh Allen. The Chiefs don't have this question about Patrick Mahomes. The Cowboys don't have this question about Dak Prescott. And it's a question of how good are they, and do I trust them? Do I completely
and not just as players, but as leaders and human beings, and
all of it,
attitude, and all of that stuff.
Absolutely. When you're handing over any contract, but especially the $40 million version, all of a sudden the Cardinals might be the first team to have a $40 million quarterback where there are at least some of these question marks. So I think Kyler and his camp are putting the Cardinals in a tough spot, and they're doing it by, exhibiting their leverage, I guess, as best they can. Anyway, let us know. What do you think? What should the Cardinals do here with Kyler Murray? I'm in the boat that they should pay him, but it's getting
they should definitely
tenuous.
pay him at some point. But at this point, I would be digging my heels in for that extra year of cheap. I'm like, just because he's putting a statement out, I'm not rushing to move my entire process up a year.
It's a PFF NFL Daily.